Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a special topic, the German language. Often I get questions about German, living in Germany, like what is the language like? Can I survive in Germany if I don't speak German? How is the language itself? Do people understand English and other languages? And are general services offered in English? So, in short, yes, you need German to survive in Germany. It just comes down to simple things, and I could explain it using one simple example. Say, for example, you want to go to the supermarket and you want to buy chicken. You get there, and they have two packages that look like it could be chicken. There's a little picture on it of a bird of some sort, but you have no idea if this is chicken or turkey because you don't know the name for chicken or turkey in German. So something simple like that you're going to have trouble with if you don't speak German at all. So that leads me into my next topic. I definitely will encourage people that once you're here, learn the language. When I first came, I didn't speak a word of German. I literally only knew the word for hello, and hello is hello in German. So I didn't know anything. So there are a lot of language schools and courses throughout the country. So learning the language, or the availability, the opportunity to learn the language exists. What I would say though, if you do have the opportunity to learn the language before you get here, that is a great idea. It's a great foundation. You would not be completely lost in the airport like I was, because you'd be able to do simple things like follow the signs in the airport. Yeah, okay, a lot of the signs are in English, but for example, when you get down into the train station, you will find there isn't many things in English, and now you need to listen to the announcements to figure out, listen, your train is coming early, your train is coming late. Small things like this you wouldn't be able to do if you don't speak a word of German. If you learn the language before you come, you can also have the possibility to study in German, which can be really beneficial in the working world. I do have a couple of friends. They did a year-long intensive course before they started their studies, whether it was bachelor's or master's, so that when they got into the working world, they actually already knew all of the technical terms in their field in German, because they studied in German. And so they can readily apply it in a German-speaking office, or, yeah. Even if you don't need to speak German to do your work, you can still communicate with your colleagues in German and they can better understand you. Of course, regarding all of the courses that they have, the prices really vary. And I can't say for sure, depending on where you would live, what the courses might cost. If you are at a university, a lot of universities offer reduced rates for their students to study there. Like I remember at my university, we paid something like maybe 40 euros a semester. It was super cheap. But now that I think about this, I'm like, why didn't I do more courses at the university? Even if it kills me, I should have done more language courses, because now for that same kind of coursework, you pay like 200 euros, you know? It's a lot when you're no longer a student. How is the language itself? This is a question that I get a lot. And it comes down to, there are many English words in German. No, because English is a Germanic language, so there are actually many German words in English. So that will help you a lot with the vocabulary. Things like, for example, kindergarten. Kindergarten is a German word. In German, it's Kindergarten. So, garden is Garten. And German is also really, they're very realistic. So, a garden or a place where children will play, they call it Kindergarten, a child's garden, literally. So, the language is very literal, and they have many times that things would come together like that. Literally. So that really helps me a lot. Often I build my own words because I may know the component words, and so I try to build it, and sometimes it works because people are like, oh yeah, but that's not the word. I know what you want to say, but that's not the actual word for it, but it's really useful to know things like that. So very often you see these extremely long German words, and it's just that it's a combination of many different smaller words, and if you know all of the smaller words, then you know what the big word means. So that's really fun about the language. But let's get into just a little bit of the nitty-gritty. So in English, you have three cases: subjective, objective, and the possessive case. We all know this. In German, you have four cases. And I know what you're thinking, Raquel, you don't know four cases. Let us get into it. So you have the subjective in German. Then you have two objective cases: the direct object case and the indirect object case. And then you have the possessive case. Now, those objective cases in the middle there, those are my problem. Because how in the world am I supposed to differentiate what is the direct object in a situation versus the indirect object? So I have a very famous TikTok example that I'm going to give you. The school in German is die Schule. You want to say, I am in the school. It will be ich bin in der Schule. Remember, it was die Schule. Ich bin in der Schule. But you want to say, I am going in the school. It will be ich gehe in die Schule. So, you can do that with that what you want, but that's just a small taste of what it is like. And my thing is, you have to be able to figure this out while you're forming a sentence. And the sentence structure is also a little bit different, but it's easy to get accustomed to. But you're trying to figure out this sentence structure and then include the right case in the right part of the sentence, because a sentence can have multiple cases depending on the amount of nouns. Listen, it is not easy. But we continue, and we do continue. Do people understand English? Jein, which is what people say here. Jein, which is yes, no. You will find a lot of the younger people, they do understand English because they would have learned some level of English at their schools. So most of them understand and probably speak a little bit of English. Definitely, if you go to bigger cities where it's more diverse, you have more international people, you will find more people that speak English. However, where I live, it's a smaller city. Speaking English is not that common. And I could say definitely when I go out, the amount of English I speak is really limited unless I'm meeting with a friend who speaks English, or maybe somebody from my school, my university, who studied with me at university. They also speak English, but very often I will interact with people in stores, at the doctor's office, different services, for example, the foreigner's office, Ausländerbehörde, the Bürgerbüro. All of these places, you would often interact with people in German. And I can tell you, just today I was at the doctor's office, and the doctor does not speak a word of English. So I actually used it as a kind of a game to try to gain some of the extra vocabulary that I would need to use at that specific doctor. And so I kind of use it to learn new words that I'm able to express how I feel. While it's not impossible to find doctors or different services where people speak English, I would say it's rarer. And also you will, in general, you find people react to you more positively if you speak German. They like to see that foreigners are actually trying to speak their language. They get kind of excited, even though you're struggling, even though what you're saying is total gibberish. They're really happy to see you trying to learn the language, and they will actually help you. This is my personal experience. So as I say, I will continue fighting with the language because I always get this positive feeling and people trying to help me form these sentences, find my words, So I really enjoy that part of it. So when I first came to Germany, I had two German flatmates, and they are amazing people, and they really helped me along the way, because this also if you come here, you should get a friend that speaks German, because you're going to get so many forms that you need to fill out in the first few months that you're here, so many things you need to read and understand. Listen, if you have somebody who speaks German, they are gold. Hold on to them. But yeah, I have this quick story. I remember my friend, I'm not going to say her name just in case she wants to remain anonymous for now. She wanted me to get her something in the grocery store because I was heading to the grocery store and she needed something. No problem. I can get it. She asked me to get her Ziploc bags at the grocery store. At least I think it was Ziploc bags. It was definitely some kind of bag. Maybe it was trash bags. I feel like it was trash bags. So she asked me to get her some trash bags from the grocery store. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I get to the grocery store and I go to the lane with trash bags. And there are so many bag-like items in this. Like, you have these Ziploc bags. I can obviously see a Ziploc bags. Then I see something that looks like it's a box, and it has like ice on the package, and it has like fruits. At this time, I was still maybe like a month here, so I'm still purchasing things according to what is on the package outside. And so I'm like, okay, this looks like it could be trash bags. So I buy it and I take it home. And she's like, did you get the bags? I'm like, yeah, and I give it to her. She's like, what is this? I'm like, is the bags you asked me to get? She's like, no, these are ice bags. I'm like, what are ice bags? She's like, it's bags that you make ice in the freezer with. I'm like, why does this exist? To confuse people like me. I was so confused, but it's so funny. We still laugh at that story today. But yeah, that's just, things like these happen when you're buying things according to the pictures. Of course, it's going to come after a while. Like, now I know the name for ice. And by the way, the word for ice and ice cream is really funny. So in English, ice refers to the blocks, right? Like, if you tell somebody you want ice, you refer to like the blocks of ice, right? That you're going to pour your drinks over or whatever. Now, this is the same word in German, ice. It's just spelled differently. If you say you want ice in Germany, they think you mean ice cream. If you say you want ice Würfel, this refers to the ice blocks. Even to this day, I still forget that I'm supposed to use ice Würfel to refer to the ice blocks, and ice to refer to ice cream. Okay, I always eat ice, so I always know that one is ice cream. But the rare times I need like ice blocks, I don't want them to put ice in my drinks, I need to remember it's ice Würfel for the ice blocks. Why is this so small things like these? Oh, last thing, quick thing. Is the language angry? When you first learn it, you would definitely think it's very angry. They have these very harsh words, harsh sounds. But actually, German is a very straightforward language. Like, they don't like to beat around the bush like people do in English. So they are going to tell you like it is. And that sounds kind of cut and dry, but I love it. Because they're literally going to tell you, listen, it is like this. Tomorrow, the weather is going to be bad. They're not going to say, there is a chance that we may experience very terrible rain. They will say, tomorrow the weather is going to be bad. That's something really arbitrary, but there are so many times that happens, but the language is just very, very straightforward. They're going to tell you exactly like it is, cut and dry. I love it. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you feel like I didn't answer any of your burning questions that you have about German, please don't forget to leave a comment below. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.